Okay, how is everybody doing?
Good.
Um,
How are you doing?
you know what? I think I have a tinge of COVID or something because I have been in bed for
Mm.
I'm like working on day 5 of being sick. I'm not, I mean, I feel so much better than I was feeling, but yeah,
Mm.
I'm still blowing my nose and coughing and stuff.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm happy to be here with you guys though. I didn't get like a real good like consensus in the group. I kind of asked you guys what you wanted to work on today. We can go around and check in with everybody. And then I put something together, reconnecting with my desires and like with my inner child that I thought we could maybe tap on today as a group. Does that sound good to everybody?
mhm.
Just like kind of
Sure.
like tuning into ourselves and knowing what we need. That's kind of a skill that I don't know. It's a skill that it's a skill. It's something that we need to practice, and I think a lot of us, especially as women, don't do. I know I am certainly not perfect at it, so I just thought maybe tapping on that would be helpful for you guys. So, would love to hear how you are and how you're doing. Ellen, do you want to go first? You're top of my
Okay.
screen.
Sure. Well, as I put on the chat, a very close friend of mine had to have a hysterectomy and she's okay. She's on day 3 after surgery. And so
Oh, good.
I have been going through the emotional roller coaster connected to that, like when somebody that you communicate with regularly and care a great deal about, and you wonder,
Yeah.
are they going to kill her? Is she going to be
Oh,
okay?
totally.
You
I
know,
would be very freaked out if one of my best friends went into surgery like that.
and now she's getting better than she was, and so I'm
Great.
back with myself, and I was going through. I think I put on the chat that I was going to have a tap and pity party for myself, but then this really surprised me. I did the opposite. I did this whole thing where I said, I love myself, therefore all is well. And I did a whole kind of script with that and tapped through it. And that, I don't know where that came from, but that was just like really cool.
Cool.
And
Oh,
I
I
said,
love that.
I can divert myself from that little negative place I get to, like every afternoon around 3 o'clock. I don't know why I go there, but
That, you know what, that is a skill and it that becomes a lot easier once you do this deep healing and the deep clearing that you've been doing, Ellen, I know. That
yeah.
the ability to pop out or to like see a situation as to see a situation and not get grabbed by it or have a tinge of depression but not let it take you down or something bad happens but it doesn't ruin your whole day. That is absolutely testament to how much tapping you've been doing. 100%. Well done.
Thank you. And the other thing I wanted to mention is like the echoes come so much easier now.
They
Like,
do. They're the hardest in the beginning, but they're smaller echoes, right? Like they're still echoes, they still need to be tapped on. If you don't, you'll overeat, but they're like not as and they're not as intense.
yeah, yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm psyched. Thank you.
Cool. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, that's why the beginning is always the hardest. So it's the worst stuff. But you went right for it, Ellen. You went head
Oh
first.
yeah. I'm an old lady. I don't have that much time left. I got to get this done.
Was that the motivation?
Well, as part of it, yep.
Good for you.
For sure, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Good check-in. Thanks, Ellen. Good
Thank
update. Mary, do you want to go next?
Sure. I had the strangest thing happen a couple days ago when I was laying in bed thinking about getting up and kind of half in, half out. And this image of my little girl came to me and she was crying. And she said something like, they're either they're going to hurt me or she was afraid they were going to hurt her.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, with the incest, and my dad would even get the neighbors involved. Here, try my little girl out.
Good to
Um,
you?
yeah, he,
Oh my
I
God.
remember I was probably like 5, and
Oh,
this guy lived a few
Mary.
houses down, and it was dark. It was getting dark, and there were the woods were behind our house, and he came down and fiddled with me at
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
Oh my God, Mary.
yeah.
I'm so
So
sorry.
the
Have you talked
normal,
on that? I'm sure you have, but just making sure.
uh, yeah. Um, and the thing with everything that went on, like that threat was always there. If you tell anyone, I'll kill you, or if you
Oh,
tell anyone, I'll whatever.
oh, wow.
So that threat was always there. And so that's what my little girl was talking about. So I just grabbed her up and hugged her and called the angels in. And, she fell asleep in my arms, and, I talked to her and everything. So
Okay.
that was cool. That was very unexpected, but I'm glad it came up. I think
Yeah.
that really helped a lot,
Did you just unlock that? Or have you known about that the whole time?
No, I've known about that one. Yeah. And
Okay.
my uncle did the same thing.
Oh, fuck.
I'm telling you, it was everywhere.
Yeah. God, those
Yeah.
men. Um, okay. Have you it's worth going back and just checking to see if there's any crunchiness, like
Yeah.
maybe in a week or a couple days, whenever you have the energy. Go back and with those especially, you want to go back and check and make sure they're really neutral, because often it takes a couple rounds to really get to everything. And with sexual trauma specifically, since I know you're working on your weight, I know you're working on your creativity, but I know you're also, that's another desire. Sometimes we need to go back in, a couple weeks apart or a few days apart, and keep looking for the remnants.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure you don't want to think about that again, but if you don't want to think,
Yeah.
that's usually a sign that you need. I mean, not that you'd ever want to think about that, but just go back and do that a couple more times
Okay.
just to make sure you really clean it up, because we don't want
Okay.
any of that effect.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're brave for going back there. Okay, Linda, you want to check in? Here, I'll just ask to unmute.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Um, I started working on my receipts
Oh,
on the
good.
work that I needed to be doing, and I feel
Good.
much better. Once I started working on it, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't so hard. This is just, it was just scaring me to do.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very grateful about that. Like that's real progress for me is to tackle the receipts that I've been avoiding and figuring out my finances. So
Good.
that's been
Good.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Have you had a session with the coaches yet?
I got locked out, and so I think Jimmy's getting me back in.
Oh, okay. You
I
got
think,
locked out. How did you? There's no locked out. There's
well,
a,
there wasn't, the link said I had to pay, and it didn't say that before.
no,
So
it
I
shouldn't.
went back to the Google Docs. That's how I
Okay.
get in, right? And
Yeah.
then when it said coaches, it gave me prices. And I had been doing the coach. No, so I went to, so Jimmy's fixing that. I
Okay.
talked with him this week.
Okay. Will you also email your problem to this email that Casey just put in the chat?
Oh,
Will you tell them that you have that problem?
yeah, sure.
And yeah, just to make sure the tech support is changing, because that shouldn't be happening too.
Yeah, no, it was weird, but
Okay. All right, I'm glad I asked.
yeah, I would have been. I was looking after our session. I was for sure looking for help with, tapping.
Yeah. No, we want to get you in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
good. Well done for tackling your scary thing. How's your
Yeah.
inner teenager doing?
Good. She's hanging in there. She's good. She's happy we're doing it. She's feeling better.
Okay.
She doesn't want to know, but she doesn't have to be part of this. She can go somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay, great.
She could, yeah, she doesn't, she's afraid to find out, how much we're spending. So,
Yeah.
we all will be revealed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Send her on a vacation when you
Yeah.
do that part.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah, she needs to go somewhere else to not get in my way. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. All right, good. Thanks, Linda.
Yeah.
Erin, do you want to go next?
Oh, I wasn't even muted. Okay, good. Thought I wasn't loud. Yeah, I was just kind of trying to, gosh. Yeah, I mean, like I said in the thing, I realized I don't think I've tapped it all in the last week. It's midwinter break for my kids. So I've had them pretty much every day. So that just makes it challenging. But
Yeah.
um, well, you said like comment on wins. So I've just noticed, even with like, part of me is like, Erin, if you really like leaned into this and like were able to get yourself to do this more during the week, like things would be crazy different in your life. Because with the little amount that I've been able to do, I've just noticed like I stopped walking past things and being like, I'll do it later. I'm like bending over and picking up the coat and hanging it up. I'm like, what is happening? Just like simple stuff like that. And I tapped when you sent out that one. I think it was the long script that you did for like closing the deal or something like that. This sounds kind of strange, but I did it in like like going to like go shower because I don't know, I just hate showering. And I think it's just the transition. Someone said that's actually an actual like phobia, going from dry to wet, but I don't know. But anyway, I've noticed like just generally like it brought things up about like personal care and self-care, just like feeling like I don't deserve them or they're not worth it.
Mhm.
Which just feels so strange, right?
Mm.
But yeah, so little things like that. So I'm starting to pay, like yesterday I was getting ready for church and I was like, you know what? I think we could put this on or put that on. And I walked out the door and I was like, oh, okay. We're looking in the mirror and saying, hey girl.
Oh, that's awesome, Erin. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
How's
yeah,
your eating going?
eating. So the nighttime eating, I haven't had. There's been a couple times where I'm like, because I like cuddle with one of my kids before, and there's times where I'm like, oh, I could go downstairs. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. So I have not eaten at night since you and I tapped like 4 weeks ago.
Wow,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Well
Um,
done. I'm glad you
but
did the
I've
anchor
definitely,
work at the end.
yeah, I've definitely noticed though. I After each meal, like breakfast, I sort of do like this emotional stress thing after that because I think of like the tasks that are coming next. Um, so I'm still doing these like I want to say like 1 or 2 times a day, kind of doing this like session or whatever of stress eating of some sort.
Yeah. So you just push the food away. It's probably a different trigger than the one we worked on.
Yeah, I think some of it, yeah, some of it's just like convincing myself to do it, right? It's like your brain is like, oh, but this is a good thing. Um, what I was gonna say is, and I don't know, I don't know if you've ever had someone do this in terms of like, I've come across like eating different things and I'm like, there's definitely something emotional here, but like I'm at dinner with family or I just don't want to stop in the moment. So I
Yeah.
have this container, I have this Tupperware in my cupboard at home with like one of each of the things that I haven't like done the ball of light on or pushed away.
Okay.
And I'm like, we'll just do it this weekend. We'll just like, which probably doesn't work that way, but like I'm saving the items so that I can do the push away.
Yeah.
Can you just have like a ball of light marathon and just kind of, I don't know. I guess it depends on whether your body actually responds to things in the moment, right?
Oh, that's a good idea though. I like that. So we do in the Thrive program, we do a push the food away boot camp where we do it once a night, every night for 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
You could listen to that and it comes with instructions. So it tells you like get a dinner item, bring a dessert for this one, bring, something salty or snacky, something that you snack on. So it gives you different things to push away. But yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. Ball of light, you can't really tap for more than like about 2 hours. You can have like two shifts in a day, but after that your brain's kind of cooked and you can't really tap more than that.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to do it all in one day, but I love the way you're thinking.
Yeah. I'm sort of like a sink or swim. And when you start tapping, if you're not sure if it's the
So
most,
with emotional eating, with the push the food away, you don't have to actually have the food there. So I would only keep the food around if it's a craving food. If it's that specific food that you can't keep in the house, but if you just want to eat it and you know you're not really hungry, that you don't need food for that one.
yeah, no, I think these are the other things. I think these are the specific ones. Um, so okay. Okay, so one question before. I realized with the Misogi, which is during my 5K, I need to do these PT exercises and I need to download this app. And I keep on not downloading the app because I'm afraid I'm not going to do it. I just need to download the app, right? And then start wrestling with the fight to not want to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say first step is download the app. Yes. Download the app here while you're in the class. The presence of everybody will help ground you into the behavior.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask if you have like how you deal with, we've talked about different approach to sort of dealing with addiction and other things like that. Like my nephew's 16 and he just got admitted to inpatient for like substance abuse. And like, or maybe this is just a personal question for you. Like, how do you deal with knowing that the healthcare system out there is not very good at actually addressing the issues? It's more like patch you up and get you out the door. Like, how do you sort of handle that internal thing? Like, I can't go and like get my nephew on this like tapping, like I can't.
No, it's really hard. Honestly, it's one of the things that drives me to do the things that I do and to work and try to get my message out there. Like I have to overcome a lot of internal blocks to have more visibility around this. And so yeah, that's one of my drivers for sure. It is really frustrating.
To just kind of let it go and know that there's a better way. But
It's just a beast that it's hard for one person to fight, but as awareness grows and as more people use these modalities, then it becomes more yeah, my like career misogi for like when I'm done working, I want to have 100,000 trained practitioners who are trained in my method for addiction. So I'm hoping to eradicate the addiction issue, but it'll take my entire lifetime. It'll take me probably another 20 years to get there.
yeah,
Maybe 10. I don't know. Maybe 10. Maybe I could do it in 10. I have no idea.
yeah.
But yeah, that is frustrating. I'm sorry.
Or if do you wait for people to come to you or do you ever suggest to someone, hey, like, have you thought about
We don't help people that are like in detox. That's not my zone of genius. It would be more like once they're in rehab or sorry, once they're out of rehab and they're like, they want to stick to it.
yeah,
That would be the moment to introduce tapping to them.
okay.
Yeah, not right now. And then also look into ibogaine. The ibogaine. It's a plant medicine from Africa, and it is used for addicts.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll look into that. Thank you.
yeah. You're welcome. Wendy, you want to go next?
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Hi. So I guess last week I started having like that really bad head cold, and so I haven't really been eating that much, but I think it's because of my cold and like
Mm,
just, you know what I mean? I don't have much of an appetite, but but it's been really nice because I haven't really had to struggle with anything the past couple of days. So it's been kind
nice
of
to get a little break, isn't it?
yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
Mm,
So, yeah, so I mean, so everything's been going really good, you
okay,
know? Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
So
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. It's funny how we all, I mean, we haven't checked in with everybody yet, but it's funny how we have dips and we have highs and lows as a group. Are you guys noticing that?
Yep.
Yeah, speaks to the energy of the container. Okay, thanks, Wendy. Cool.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi.
I actually had what I thought was a pretty big win this past week. Um, I'm trying to think of the short version of this. I had a friend, my best friend from high school, reach out to me after I sent a Happy New Year thing, and I asked her for forgiveness because my feelings got hurt. And I thought that when she called me stupid, what she was really saying is that I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Hmm.
And it was a really healing moment for me. But I went home and I tapped for 45 minutes afterwards because it it just brought up so much stuff from high school. And I think the saddest thing for me is that she had the same amount of crappiness our senior year as I had, like emotionally and mentally.
Hmm.
Not that that like evened anything out, but the win was, I mean, when we sat down to talk to each other, we talked to each other like it was, I don't even know how many years ago, 25 years ago, like when we were in high school. So that was just a really great moment and being able to just kind of tap through uh, that was more of a starting point because it really originated from being made fun of by my family growing up because they called me a crybaby. And I spent so much time over the years just shoving my emotions down, um, not telling people what I was thinking or feeling. Um, so it was really cathartic. And I guess like a little nice little added on aspect of that is I started dating a guy who's so emotionally in tune with himself. And one of the things that we decided to do is to be completely transparent no matter how hard it is.
Hmm.
So I think that's been kind of helpful having that piece. But I was just so happy about the whole actually having the conversation with her and being able to kind of process things like I'm not good enough or I need to make myself small.
Yeah,
So
those are the kismet kind of interactions that give you some really juicy tapping material, aren't they?
yeah, and I could probably do some more tapping on that stuff. Um, I did a little bit of some of the somatic stuff that um, we've done, like hit my pillow, scream in my pillow, and stuff like that, which I think helped to physically release some of it as well.
Great.
So,
Good. It's a great update. And congratulations on meeting a guy who's so emotionally in tune with himself. That's really
yeah,
fun.
he's very calm and peaceful, which makes it kind of easy. It's like, where did you
Wow.
come from? Are you an alien? But yeah,
Definitely one of the rare ones.
yes.
Well done.
So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome. Great update. Thanks, Stephanie. Okay, Nairi.
Hi. I had a few things happen last week, which were pretty good. Um, as I put in the chat, I had a block. I did the opposite. I didn't do the opposite again. Sorry. I managed to do your body positivity script finally after some work with Casey, and
Okay.
I had a block from that last, not Sunday just gone, but the Sunday before. And Dawn and I had a session where we gently just tried to open the door a little bit, and then after that, I got massive migraines and really couldn't tap. Managed to go to work, but that was about it.
Mm.
And was really, really exhausted. And then on Saturday morning, I had this really weird dream, and it was kind of like a past life, and I still remember it. But after
Oh,
that, I woke up and I was really energized. Um, I felt a huge lightness. I felt like this massive weight's gone off me. Went out with my husband for the day, didn't get annoyed with him at all, actually felt connected. And then on Sunday, I went shopping by myself and I went window shopping and I was just like, you know what? I've got a wedding coming up. I'm going to go look at some clothes. I hate clothes shopping. And for the first time I can remember, I felt body neutral looking at these clothes and just taking them in, that they were just clothes hanging on rails, sorry.
wow.
Yeah, so I had some really awesome wins, even though I had a bit of a hard week.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how you know
So
you've really shifted is when the hard week isn't taking you down.
yeah, yeah. And it's like I still don't know the meaning of the dream or anything, and I'm gonna just let that lie
Yeah.
and be whatever it is. But yeah, but absolutely amazing. Yeah, loving it.
Oh, great,
Uh,
Nairi. Such a beautiful update. I love the body neutrality is perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
you.
really cool. Okay, good update. Lisa, you want to go next? Lisa without the last name. We need to put a letter.
My last name is DeLindsay, so it'd be Lisa D.
Lisa D. Okay,
Lisa
Lisa
D.
D.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, I've had some wins. I've been working with Don and Casey, and I've just had had some really good sessions with them. It's been very powerful, and I've become neutral about food, which is I grew up with food insecurity in the sense that my mom didn't cook regular meals and there wasn't snacks around the house, and so I just now that I'm an adult, it's always like when I go to the grocery store, it's like I just always have this intensity about like we need to get food, make sure there's enough food, and the same with eating
Ooh,
out to dinner. So that's
have you
I
done
wouldn't
the
say it's
food
a
in the
zero, but it's
garbage?
yeah. I'm sorry.
Have you done the throw the food away in the garbage yet? The clean your
Um,
plate?
Not lately, but I have done that in the past, and it was very triggering. But now, I think I imagined it last week, and I had some ice cream, and I didn't actually have the ice cream in the house, but I imagined throwing it away, and it wasn't triggering, and so it's
Okay. Good.
yeah. So I mean, it
Next
used to
step will
be
be to actually throw it away.
yeah. That's true. That's true. I have done that in the past. I need to redo it.
Okay.
Um, but what's coming up for me is I didn't grow up fat. I grew up very healthy and athletic, and I've been working with Kate, but I'm still having this like such strong reaction to gaining weight in my 20s and 30s and saw myself gaining weight. And it's this resentment of letting this happen to myself. You know, I
Hmm.
had traumas growing up, big T's, little T traumas, but I didn't gain weight until like my late 20s.
Okay.
And the only way I lost weight after that was extreme dieting or extreme exercise. And for some reason, so I keep getting stuck on that piece. And I want to continue working on that piece, but that's what's coming up for me.
Okay. So it's you're stuck on the which part, being upset with yourself that you gained weight in your 20s?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done anger work on it?
Um, yeah, I mean, we have. I guess not, I don't know specifically, but there's some echoes that have come up that we've addressed. I've addressed with Don and Casey.
Does your language to me suggest that there's some anger around there? And I know sometimes it's hard to get mad at yourself.
Yeah.
It's much easier sometimes to get mad at somebody else. But I think
Yeah.
if you give yourself permission to voice with fury, and maybe hit some pillows while you're thinking about that particular piece, I think it'll move faster.
Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, I was heading into the Peace Corps. I was going to be living in Africa for 2 years, and I'm like, I'm going to be living in Africa for 2 years. I can eat whatever I want. And so I gained like 30 pounds thinking I would lose it, and it just never it I never lost it except with extreme dieting and exercise, and then the weight just kept rebounding up from there. So I think I am very angry at myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good point.
that would definitely be worth getting the anger out so that you can get to a place of forgiveness with yourself.
Mhm.
That could be, I mean, I don't know your entire history, but that could be a significant block for you,
Yeah.
is just holding on to that resentment.
Yeah.
And
But
you know, with anger and with resentment, that shows up as physical weight on our body. I mean, all these traumas do, right? But I think I find anger and you know, anything kind of attached to anger, we give it all these different emotions and words, but anything that's rooted in anger, is usually we're carrying it on our bodies.
yeah. So yeah, I think this is very important that I know I can be very angry at my mother and family members and everything. But yeah, you're reflecting back to me that I have a deep anger with myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, I said it, but now I'm like really getting it. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Very good. Okay.
Great. Yeah. And it's, yeah, that it can be frustrating, but it does, I don't know that you need a ton of tapping to get to the core of that. And then you just you want to have, you want to get to the place where you can forgive your younger self for doing that, and you can speak to her with kindness, and it's genuine. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to like truly believe it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that might take a couple sessions before you can truly say it with like with 100%, you know, belief
Okay.
behind
Great.
it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Lisa. Great update. Becky,
Oh, yeah.
you're unmuted.
Um, I don't know where I am today. It's been a hard weekend and
Mm,
I haven't been tapping and with my kids, a hard weekend with my kids, not relationship wise, just because my daughter is having such a problem. Her,
oh, sorry.
her job went away and she has no insurance, and we spent the weekend moving furniture back and forth and around between her storage room and here, and
Wow. You're a
my
great
my son
mom.
my son was up helping out and his wife, and
Hmm.
we just worked all weekend. So
Oh.
I'm just kind of,
Yeah, okay. Well, we don't have to do a big update. Just wanted to check in and see if there was
yeah,
anything you wanted
yeah,
to check in
that's
about.
that's
Okay.
where I am. I'm just
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Thanks, Becky. Okay, Kim.
Hey,
Hey.
um, so overall, me, Casey, and Dawn have been doing some amazing work, I think, in like past traumas and stuff that's coming up and everything like that. Like that's all been amazing. Um, food wise, I I'm trying to like my work has been absolutely crazy for the last couple of weeks, where this is the first weekend and I'm in Canada and this is a long weekend for us. So like today was off and I've been able to do nothing. Like, but I feel I feel guilty about that I haven't been motivated, but I am so unmotivated. I'm so tired. I'm so
Hmm.
everything. And then just trying to be okay with it. Like just trying to be like, Kim, you're exhausted and it is what it is and tomorrow's a new day and you know whatever.
Hmm.
Um so the one thing that I'm trying to do though is to dive into like the Thrive program to get doing the lessons there about weight and stuff like that, because I seem to be gaining weight right now. Like my clothes are getting tighter, and trying not to beat myself up or get into a headspace of this isn't working, find the new fix, because
Yeah.
I know the stuff that Dawn and Casey and I are bringing up, like it's unreal, the stuff that to me that is coming up, that, and I've done a lot of therapy and, you know, different things over like since I was a teenager. And so the stuff that's coming up, I know is good stuff that is healing. And then my body just needs to adjust and whatever, but it is kind of irritating. I was telling that was like my fucking underwear is tight. And I'm like,
Oh, that is so annoying.
it is
You know
so
what? It
annoying.
doesn't happen often, but once in a while there'll be somebody that's like, this is making it worse. And it is so frustrating. But and I had that experience, so I can empathize and relate. It is so frustrating, but it's also a sign that you're on the right track and that you're digging up the right things. You know,
Well, like I don't know if
your
it's my logical
subconscious is so
brain.
scared to get rid of these problems that it's probably making, are you noticing that you're eating more?
No, actually, I feel like I'm not. Like I feel
Oh,
like I'm not snacking. I will say this. I do believe my cortisol levels are through the roof. Like I do, like I don't know if we talked about this, but I on average put in a 5-day week, I put in 80 hours.
wow.
So sleep is like gold that I don't always get. And so I do think my stress levels are high, and I had a lot going on in the last couple of weeks. Um, but yeah, like food wise, I feel like my food is, I mean, if I wrote stuff down, maybe I wouldn't feel that way, but like I'm not snacking, I'm not craving. I yesterday I wanted something, and Casey and I worked on Friday, and it was like, I think maybe it was chips. But whatever it was, I was like, wait a second, like, what is it that you're actually wanting? And I was home alone, my family was all gone, and I just wanted comfort. I wanted companionship, I wanted whatever, but I was going towards, I wanted the chips. So I was able to not have the chips, and well, actually, I don't think I did anything to give myself comfort, but still.
You know what? That's what we're gonna tap on today. We're the tapping today is gonna help you with that.
Anyway,
Okay, but
well, thank you,
you're
Lisa. Lisa just made a comment. Thank you. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I feel a little, I guess, fish out of water, but I'm just keep on swimming.
good for you. And it's true. I mean, you are having wins. It's just not showing up on your body yet, which is, I know, super, super frustrating, but at least you're having the psychological wins and the behavior shifts.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great. Yeah, hang in there, Kim. I know it's I know it's challenging too, but I've been there too, and it does get better.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, Leonie.
Oh, hi, Brittany and everyone. Hi. For me, can you hear me okay? I'm
Yeah.
sitting in my car at work. Yeah, look, I think I've had a few little wins here and but I feel like there's some things bubbling under the skin a little bit, and I'm just trying to access that at the moment because I've been writing down a lot of memories, and then I get a little bit confused which direction to go.
Okay, Leonie, remind me your misogi again. I don't have my notes with me.
My misogi is, well, I wanted to do a trek over in New Zealand. Whether that's still there, I don't know. It's more of getting fit
Okay.
and being able to and lose weight.
But you're working on weight loss, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So never work on I mean, okay. Except for sexual trauma, you don't want to work on memories that pop up. I know it's tempting to
Mm.
go, oh, this bad thing happened to me, and this bad thing happened to me when you have some wins with healing stuff.
Mm.
Always let the food take you there. and what I mean by that is let the craving or let the emotional eating or the bored eating or the nighttime snacking take you to the trauma. Don't try to find it yourself because you'll always find more trauma.
Yeah.
I've been looking and tapping for 25 years. I can still come up with shit. So at some point, I think it took me 15 years to figure out, oh, there's just always going to be more. And I stopped doing that. So let me save you 15 years of time. I'm sure I'm like, super happy and I have a great life because of all the tapping I did, but it didn't help me get to my goals faster. What helps me get to my goals faster is figuring out what I want and then noticing the resistance with either a behavior or craving or, tell myself I'm going to do something and then I'm not doing the thing. So looking at that. So always tap with your behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. But look, the little wins that have come up, I'm not snacking as much at night and I'm getting to bed earlier. So those things, they're very subtle, but wow, there has been a change.
Great.
Yeah, so I can sort of feel that there is a difference.
Good.
Sometimes I have to, if I'm getting, sometimes I have to just check in but most of the time I do see a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Little bits.
Beautiful. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Lisa B.
Hello. So, couple like small win, I've noticed that I can, like, I'll have the urge or the thought. I think it's still like a habit, maybe a thought of like, oh, I could stop and get a snack, or something that I tend to go for is like cinnamon rolls. And I went to the grocery store to buy bread and I spent probably like 10 or 15 minutes walking around like the bakery department, and I picked up like chocolate cake and then I put it back down, and I picked up like carrot cake and brownies and I don't know, a bunch of different things. I ended up just putting them all back down and I left without any of them. So I thought that was really, really good.
That's awesome.
And I'm not really looking for the memories, but I was sorting through, like cleaning out a closet, and I was going through some paperwork, and I found this list of limiting beliefs that I'd created when I was doing a different program. And a couple of them really still kind of like, I could feel constriction and just like the emotions rising up. So I did some tapping on that, and it was interesting. I sent my sad little girl and my, what did I call him? My insecure monster. I sent them on vacation. I told them they've done really good work. They've done so good at protecting me and keeping me safe that I don't have any reason for them right now. And they can just go on vacation and spend as long as they want and just have a lot of fun. And I don't know. So it was a fun little tapping, and kind of like, I don't know, that just kind of evolved out of what I started with. And I was just like, well, there's this little monster inside of me that's so secure and it's whispering in my ear all the time, and like, but I don't need that right now.
Did
That's
that work?
not
Did
serving
they
me.
stay gone?
Yeah,
Whoa.
they haven't been coming back yet. So
Cool.
I am noticing I'm still avoiding, and I've been working with Casey on this, the being visible.
Yeah.
And so trying to make some recordings, videos, and then post those online and stuff. And just, I do what I call busy procrastination. I've got 100 things that I've did. Oh, well, I didn't have time to make videos because I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Like, look how many things I crossed off my list. And, the one thing that would actually move me forward is not getting done.
Yes.
Still.
And that's the beauty of this container and of setting your intention when we start, is that me and your coaches are going to keep bringing you back, keep checking in on that thing. It's so easy to become, to like, like a squirrel, follow all your different problems and distract yourself with a whole bunch of different things. And they'll seem more important than your original intention. But when you joined, you had an intention, right? And you knew exactly what to do. And your brain comes up with so many reasons why you should do something else. And so this is a new level, new devil problem.
Yeah.
And really the only way that I've found to work with it is to have somebody holding space, have somebody holding me accountable, and keep chipping away at that. Keep coming back to it. Like, okay, what did I say I was going to do? Okay, I said I was going to record video. Okay, I said I wanted to create this business, and then just keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself to focus on that tapping, and don't, get too off track with all the other things. I'm sure it sounds like the limiting beliefs were helpful because you felt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm saying this just as much to myself. I literally hired somebody where I have to check in with her every single week and tell her what I did this week. It has been so confronting. I had no idea how much I let myself off the hook if I just don't feel like finishing something, or if, I'm feeling a little bit lazy, or, my deadlines are like always a moving target. Now I have really firm deadlines, and it's fucking confronting. So I've been tapping my ass off on shit like this too. And it's hard. It's really hard to like hold yourself accountable in front of an audience with other people who are also like tracking your progress.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for doing that, and for just catching yourself. I mean, even just the part of the process where you're like, oh, I told myself I'd create videos, and the noticing of it is
Yeah.
it's the work, right?
Yes, exactly. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good
thank
for
you.
you.
I'm really appreciating this container.
Good. Well, thank you, Lisa. You've been so supportive. Okay. God, MB, I always forget your name. I'm sorry.
I always forget that I haven't changed it yet,
Uh,
and then every time the meeting comes up, I still haven't changed it.
Yeah.
I feel like up and down, things are going well. Eating is going a lot better. There's still been a few times, and I feel like a lot of them are around when I'm very tired and like just out of energy. But I would still say the eating is far better now than it was like 2, 3 months ago. That
Nice.
is still a lot less than what it ever had been. And then here, the weather is phenomenal. So I've been able to go outside and actually go on walks.
Wait, are you in Texas?
No, I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, in Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, we went from like -20 below to it's like 50 degrees right now. It's
Oh,
really
nice.
fantastic.
Beautiful.
So that's been very helpful. I want to listen to a specific podcast while I go on my walk because that really helps me, and I haven't been able to do that. But that's okay because I've had kiddos with me. But last week there was a motivational speaker that I went to see, and just was talking about being content where you're at in your own life. Of stop comparing yourself to everybody else. We're not going to be able to change our lives. I mean, yes, we can make changes, but we're still not going to be living someone else's life. So I just feel like that part I've been kind of rethinking through everything and just trying to be more grateful, like where I'm at, that kind of stuff. But and then I still feel like deep down, there's probably still like a fear of failure that I'm going to stop doing the work, or I'm gonna, revert back to all the old habits, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard to tap and do the work when you're tired. And sometimes that can be a reaction to like your unconscious knowing how much work you're gonna do and how much you're gonna change. Because remember, the primal brain doesn't want us to change. Like it wants to keep everything the same at all times. And so it'll create problems for us that feel real. And I'm not saying you haven't been tired. I'm sure you've been tired. Um, and and sometimes you just start with the tired. I'm tired right now and I don't want to tap. I'm tired right now and I don't want to tap and I don't have time for this. And I've got my kids here. And, sometimes just going back to that was what I taught the very first lesson when we all came together the first time, just because I want you guys to have that technique to fall back on when you're like, oh, I don't want to, I don't even know how I feel, or I don't know what to do with myself right now. You just start with stating what is. What are you saying to yourself? What are you feeling? What are you noticing? That alone, just having that skill alone will change your life. And sometimes it's just 10 minutes of tapping, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I actually feel great. And then you can get out of bed and then you have an amazing day. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Let's see, who else have I not? Oh, Clara and Amanda, I saw you just popped on. Hey, Clara, you want to check in? Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I am okay overall. I don't know if anybody else is like following the snake into horse new year, but today is the last day of the year of the snake, and then tomorrow's year of the horse. I haven't done any tapping, I think, in like over a week, maybe like a little bit with myself. So I don't know. I feel like that was kind of the advice that I was given, was to just sort of like take a break. And I feel like what's been coming up for me in that time is um like this is the hardest move I've ever done in my life. I don't really know why. There's just like more stuff that I have to manage between like the supplies for my art business and then just my personal belongings, and it's just taking a long time to like go through everything, get rid of things, kind of like purge what you were talking about before. And it feels like it's just a process that I have to go through and like be methodical about it, but it's taking longer than I want it to. So I'm in the
Hmm.
middle of doing that. And then really excited to be in Mexico. Like Mexico just really feels like a soul home for me. So very much sort of like feel energetically like I'm there or I'm excited to be there, but I'm still like bogged down in the details of just like getting rid of stuff and getting out of here.
Hmm.
And Valentine's Day was pretty hard for me. I I just had this I have this relationship that like we haven't spoken in over a year, and I don't want to be in touch, but it's just like it's a very hard energetic connection for me to like cut totally. And there's a lot of like lack of closure, I guess, in that situation for me. And so just like Valentine's Day brought up those feelings, and
Hmm.
I feel better after that. But just I don't know, like a lot of lack of clarity. And then I guess in terms of like what direction I'm supposed to be going towards, like the Masogi that I came in with was the business, but it feels like all the things that I'm addressing right now are like steps to producing that. Like I have to get out of here physically. Like I have to get rid of this stuff. I have to move. I have to get to
Yeah.
Mexico. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like I've moved a lot in my life and it has not been this difficult. It's just like really hard to get rid of this stuff, and I'm working on it daily. Um and
Yeah,
then I
it's interesting how you're like you're in a purge and you're also purging physically
yeah,
too at the same time.
yeah, yeah. And then I guess the other thing, I don't know, I feel like the biggest block really is around money, which I feel like relates to business. Just I mean, obviously it relates to business, but I mean more like in an energetic way and like a visibility way. Just there's a lot of stuff for me around like security and like a sense of feeling supported, right? Like there was a lot of like experiences of like neglect and being dropped in my early life, and I just feel like it's like a very like somatic feeling for me around like, okay, like things are okay now, but like just like that they could not be, like
Hmm.
that's pretty deep for me.
Hmm.
So it feels like that's sort of
Did
like
you
what's
plan
coming
this
up.
move, Claire? Did you plan this move, or did you start this container and decide to move at the same like once you started?
No, it's been in motion for a while now. Like
Okay,
I've known that I'm going to Mexico for a while, but now I'm actually
got it.
doing it, right? And I always knew that getting out of this space would be daunting. And it is, but I'm just kind of like, I just have to do it, like
Yeah,
put one foot in front of the other.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think a big part of it is like art supplies, which are just kind of like it. And then, yeah, just like having all the supplies for my business, that's like kind of like an extra category of things that I have to get rid of. So I don't know. I don't know why it's like so like weighty, but it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually I find that when I have periods like this,
Hmm.
they're followed by a big up level.
Yeah.
So that's what I remind myself of that when shit's like really shitty. I remind myself
Yeah.
of how good it gets after things be
Yeah. Yeah. But
so
I don't really know like what I should be doing right now in terms of tapping, right? Because I kind of like took a week off from the one-on-one tapping.
Okay.
to like let things integrate, because I feel like that was the advice that I was given, was to just kind of like let things integrate. But I also don't feel that I've had any huge like aha, do you know what I mean? So I don't really know
Yeah.
like what to do right now.
I don't know that I have specific advice for you because you kind of gave me a lot then.
Mhm.
It's like a overall update. If you tell me a specific thing that you're struggling with, then I'm better at that. But I would say just use it sparingly. Use it like if you need to use it to regulate yourself. You're going through a
Mhm.
lot right now. So if you need to do tap and bitch, or if you need to do some anger work, or if you need to start your day with 10 minutes of tapping on, I don't want to get out of bed. I have this huge fucking day and I don't want to do all this
Mhm.
purging. Then use it for that. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
digging up like traumas from your past right now. I would just use it to like get you through this period.
Yeah. I mean, I guess though that like I do want to make shifts in my life, and I guess that like the biggest shift would be around money, I guess, and maybe just like my relationship with money. So I don't know if you have some insight into that
Well,
or
you were working on your business, right?
yeah, I mean, I know how to, but I feel that it's like I know how to start a business. I know what I need to do that. And like currently the steps to have like the energetic space to just focus on that as like getting through the move. So I feel like I'm doing that, but I feel like the
Yeah.
deeper layer for me is around like my relationship with money and like how I feel about money energetically.
Hmm. I don't have any specific advice today on that. But yeah, we can kind of feel into that and
Hmm.
see what comes up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you need any more information right now. And that's what I'm sensing is like you don't actually need any more information. You need to just use the tools that you have and do what you're doing right now. Don't add
Okay.
anything more to your plate.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about fixing anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Amanda, you want to check in? And then we'll get to some tapping.
Okay. Oh, wait, I have to oh,
You're
I'm not
you're
muted.
you're unmuted.
Okay. Sorry.
Hi, Amanda.
Hello. Sorry I'm late. I'm sort of in a shared space. I'm in an Airbnb with one of my kids. So things been going actually pretty well. For me personally, my issue of late has been that my spouse and also one of my kids, another one I'm with right now, both have had some health issues recently that are just affecting me in that I don't know, I guess I'm feeling like I need to be taking my focus off of taking care of myself and taking care of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, and so I've sort of been teetering back and forth between setting boundaries and claiming that time for myself, but then feeling guilty about doing it. Um, on my Masogi end, and I just put a pin in that, but on my Masogi end, we're still in a deep freeze. So a garage sale, which you assign me to, is just not going to happen. But I have um, taken stuff to consignment, to Goodwill, and to Half Price Books, several
Awesome.
carloads. So I'm not done yet, but I'm making progress.
That's great.
Um,
No, I remember before you couldn't
yeah,
even go into the room, or you went into the room
right,
and had a meltdown. So that is
right,
huge
right.
progress,
So
Amanda.
big progress there. Yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, the block right now is getting back to that original feeling of I got to take care of everybody else before I take care of myself, and I just
Yeah.
need to. Um, I don't know how to continue forward and sort of absolve myself of any kind of guilt. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? It's actually a really good lead into what we're going to tap on today.
Okay. Okay.
Taking care of ourselves and asking ourselves what we need instead of taking care of everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So do you want let's tap on that together.
Super.
We'll help you with this.
Okay.
Written
Great.
exactly for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, everybody. So this came up for me because I went to a party over the weekend and I probably wasn't ready to go, but I just needed to get out of my house. And this girl went around and she's like, a party in Austin is more of like a personal growth workshop. So she went around and asked everybody what their desires were for the workshop. And I've worked on this in the past, but I was shocked how hard it was for me to figure out what my desires were. And I found myself kind of like thinking about I'm hoping that somebody else would speak before me so that I could hear their desires and then that could give me some inspiration for mine. And so I decided to tap on this because I find I don't know if you have this problem. Like checking in with myself on like a moment to moment basis or just like knowing what I need is not always super clear. Like I'm very much, it sounds like we all are kind of the same breed where we just like to go and get it done and don't often slow down to like check in. And I have all these beliefs or I had all these beliefs about what that means and what that means and how it's going to hold me back if I check in with myself. But I just kind of wanted to unravel that because I think it's a very common problem amongst women. Are you guys relating to that at all? Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So the visualization is tune into yourself and ask yourself, what do I want? And notice what happens. Does your mind go blank? Do you start thinking about, okay, well, what do I want in terms of what? Or what do I want right now? And just start scanning your body and kind of see if you can, if anything comes to mind. What would make you feel good right now? What do you desire? And notice if there's a voice that says, oh, don't be difficult, or oh, that doesn't matter, or oh, if you're putting pressure on yourself, like I should fix this. Just will you guys type in the chat and just tell me what you come up with? To be enough. Ooh, I like that. Strength and agility. I want more physical space. Ooh, I like that. To go for a good hike and organized home. Okay, good. So is this something on a moment to moment basis that you always have clarity around? Like, what do I want right now? What would make me feel good right now? Sleep, to go on a walk in a clean house, to have a clean house, to get more back from people. That's a good one. Okay. So I want to does okay, I guess my question is, does it ever happen to you where and I think this is also food becomes our coping mechanism too when we don't know what we want or what to do with ourselves, we'll go to eat something, right? This can be like a mindless eating. This is when we're bored eating because we want something but we don't really know what it is. Okay? So we're gonna start tapping on that, and I just made a script for us to go through. So everybody kind of tune into this feeling of like, I don't really know how to take care of myself. I don't really know exactly what I need moment to moment. I don't really know exactly how best I can take care of everybody else, but I don't know exactly how to take care of myself perfectly. Okay. And karate chop point, even though I don't really know what I want. Even though when someone asks me what I desire, I don't have an answer. Even though I feel disconnected from my desires. I look forward to the day I no longer feel this way. Even though I've gotten so good at taking care of everybody else. But when it comes to taking care of me, I get stuck. And I look forward to the day I no longer feel this way. I don't always know what I want. I don't know what I need. It feels kind of blank inside. Like maybe the signal's weak. Or the volume is turned down. When someone asks what I desire, I start scanning for the right answer. The productive answer, the impressive answer, the responsible answer. Or the answer that won't make me too vulnerable. But not the real one. I have no idea how to take care of myself in this moment. It's easier to achieve than to feel. It's easier to perform than to want. It's easier to help than to receive. I think I've been disconnected for a long time. Maybe I learned it was safer not to want too much. It's safer not to need too much. Safer not to be too much. At some point, I learned my desires were inconvenient. My desires were selfish. My desires were dramatic. And it felt safer to silence them. I look forward to the day I no longer feel this way. Everybody take a nice deep breath here. All right, and keep tapping through the points. Maybe there was a time when I asked for something and it annoyed somebody or it overwhelmed them or it just wasn't available. And I learned that my needs were a burden. I learned that my joy wasn't important. So I learned to shrink my wants. So that I could stay connected. I learned to diminish my desires in favor of love. What a precious little girl I was. I honor her for the sacrifices she made. And now it's time for her to get what she wants. What if disconnecting from myself was actually brilliant? What if it helped me survive? What if it kept me loved? What if it kept me safe? Because if I stopped listening to myself, then I didn't have to feel the disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. If I stopped wanting, I couldn't be rejected. All that rejection. I honor myself for coming up with such a brilliant plan. It would have been way worse to keep feeling disappointment and rejection over and over. No wonder I'm so strong. But now I'm grown and I'm still operating from an old rule. Okay, everybody take a nice deep breath. Still hitting parts of me. There's a part of me that thinks if I really tune in, that everything will unravel. If I open that door, it won't be a whisper, it'll be a flood. I'll realize how tired I am, how lonely I've been. And how much I've been holding on to. I don't know if I have the capacity to feel all of that. There's a part of me that believes if I let myself want, I'll become too needy, too emotional, too much. Or worse, I'll want something I can't have. And then I'll have to feel that disappointment again. There's a part of me that believes if I actually hear what I want, I won't have time for it. Or I won't be capable of it. Or I won't follow through. And that would prove something painful. So maybe staying disconnected feels more stable, more contained, more in control. Okay, we're going to take a nice deep breath. There's a part of me that assumed if I really listened, it would be too overwhelming. But what if I don't have to process everything at once? What if tuning in is not a tidal wave, but a whisper? What if I don't have to fix my whole life the moment I hear the truth? What if I'm allowed to take in information without immediately solving it? Maybe I've grown. Maybe I'm not that girl anymore who had no power. And I can hear what I want and choose what to do with it. Maybe I can feel a desire without it controlling me. Maybe I can notice a longing without collapsing. Maybe I've confused awareness with obligation. What if listening doesn't mean I have to act immediately? What if listening simply means I'm in a relationship with myself? And maybe the real safety is not in disconnecting. Maybe the real safety is in being connected to the one person who will never abandon me. Me. I'm going to say the last part line again. Maybe the real safety is in being connected to the one person who will never abandon me. Me. Okay, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to do 2 more rounds. How are you guys doing? You okay? Lots of yawning. Cool. Okay, good. Okay. Whew. All right. Even though reconnecting feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel scary, I'm willing to begin gently. I don't have to figure everything out. I only have to listen for the next whisper. Maybe it's small. Maybe it's playful. Maybe it's inconvenient. Maybe it's simple. What if reconnecting isn't dramatic? What if it's as quiet as asking, what would feel good right now? What if I start there? What if honoring one small desire doesn't make me feel irresponsible? It makes me feel integrated. What if the little girl inside of me isn't asking for chaos? She's asking to be seen. Okay, take a nice deep breath. Have a big yawn if you need. Okay, and the final round. I am allowed to know what I want. I'm allowed to discover what I want. And I'm allowed to not have the answer yet. My desires are not a threat. My needs are not a burden. My joy is not dangerous. It is safe to listen. It is safe to feel. It is safe to want. That part of me that learned to disconnect was protecting me, and I can thank her. And now I can gently reconnect. I trust that my inner voice grows clearer the more I honor it. I trust that my desires are intelligent. I trust they are leading me towards aliveness. I trust that listening to myself creates alignment, not chaos. I am safe to be connected to myself. I am safe to take up space. I am safe to follow through on small desires. My inner self is wise. My inner self is patient. My inner self is still here. And I'm coming home to her. All right, take a nice deep breath. How are you guys feeling? Lots of yawns. Amanda, you just jumped into my brain. Yeah, it seems like that was written for you, doesn't it? Didn't it? Anybody have any aha moments that they want to share?
Can I just ask what the yawning's about? I didn't know what yawning is.
Yeah, it's a nervous system regulation. So it's a sign, not everybody does it, but some people, it's a sign that they're healing. So when their nervous system is releasing a belief or an emotion, it's something that your body does.
I started getting really tired, sleepy, and yawning like crazy.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great. That means I was hitting the spot.
Okay.
Awesome. Who else wants to go? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Mary. We could just unmute and chat.
I was watching an interview with one of the Olympic skaters, and she was 42, and she was, yeah, and she was coming back. And one of the things she said was, I have the audacity to come back. And that word just resonated with me. I have the audacity. I love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that word. That's such a good word. Gosh, what a cool woman. Anybody else want to share some aha moments or anything about that?
Yeah, a lot of it came up was just sadness because it
Mm.
was safe. Some of the words you said, it was safer not to demand too much. It was safer not to be seen. It was, if I demanded too much, I would be selfish.
Yeah.
And that totally resonates with me of like taking care of myself and identifying what I want, and then, God forbid, having the audacity to express what I want. That
Love
is
it.
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's selfish. I'm being selfish.
Yeah, and it keeps us out of connect. We modeled that, right? We modeled that, and so now that's the way we treat ourselves, and then it keeps us out of connection with ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but then we go into like, then we all become super achievers, right? So we're really good at focusing on what's there and getting shit done, right? We can get shit done better than anybody else can, but we also aren't honoring our inner little girl, our inner self.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is the thing that, and there's a fine line between, I think we all know people that like honor themselves like a little too much. You're like, okay, really? And then they don't get anything done. So yeah, there's a fine balance um in getting your inner self's needs met and taking care of her, and also focusing on the adult things that need to happen in the room. Linda, I think you made a breakthrough on this. You're good at this. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And also just thanks for reminding us to honor that girl that kept us safe. And
Yeah.
that means a lot. That's very
Mm.
powerful.
Yeah, the script was hard for me to get through. It took me a couple hours.
Mhm.
It was tough.
Mhm.
Ellen, go ahead.
Um, I don't know if it hit anybody else this way, but it just made me cry. It's sort of
Yeah.
hard to tap while you're crying. And I think I was getting that I've created all these barriers for myself out of, I guess, self-protection, but what I really want is to be more open and closer to people. And it's just,
Mm.
so I wasn't yawning, but I was crying.
Yeah. Yeah, I sobbed my way through this too. The part that really struck me when it really made me emotional was when it said, I chose to forego my needs to keep the connection and to keep the love. And I think that's the decision of a little girl, right? Who's just like, well, I just want them to love me, so I guess I just won't feel it. I just won't care.
Yeah,
And
I'll do anything you need me to do if you want to
yeah,
keep
yeah.
going.
And thinking about yourself as a little girl doing that, making that decision is, yeah, I mean, that'll bring me to tears again. So yeah, this is you might need to go through this again. I'm going to put this script in the Google Docs so you guys can go through it and have that.
Brittany,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I don't remember like making those decisions. Like, I think for me, it's almost like it wasn't that I was stuffing things down. Like it felt like there was nothing there. Like I remember college like applications, I was like, I have no idea what I want to do, like
Yeah.
no kind of like interests or development of things or, I think I've mostly it's been depressing that it feels like I don't want to look there because I'll be reminded it's empty. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know, does that possibly just mean that like things got shut down so early on in my life, like before I might have sort of that conscious kind of memory of shutting things down? I mean, it's interesting because I think it relates some to me talking about like the showering or the it's like I'm just low maintenance,
Right.
um, because that was the simplest, that was the safest thing. I don't know. Yeah. So I guess my question is just like, what does that mean? I don't have memories of.
This wasn't really memory based. I don't remember doing that either. I don't think any of us do. I think that it happens when you're like not conscious, right?
Hmm.
This is like a zero to 3 or 4 years old. You make these decisions.
Yeah.
So how did the script feel? Did some of the phrases and words land for you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think it wasn't until it was over now that I'm thinking about, when you were talking about like everything flooding at once, I think part of me was like, I don't really know what that means because I don't feel like there's anything there to flood. But I
You
think,
know,
yeah,
sometimes so scripts are hard because not every sentence is going to resonate with everybody. And I think one of the things I noticed you do is you'll get kind of stuck on the thing that's not working. Whereas like what I'd love to see you do is just like be like, oh, that one doesn't relate, or that one doesn't resonate, and then just move on to the next one. Because
yeah,
hopefully the next sentence will, or like the next phrase will. Right. So it's kind of like this self-sabotage mechanism in you where you're like, wait, and then it keeps you from getting the change, though.
yeah. My nervous system was definitely responding to the tapping. And I mean, hopefully some of the detail around some of those things. Maybe that's an interesting question though. Like if I tap on something that doesn't actually resonate and maybe wasn't true for my situation, does it mess my brain up or does
No, no, it doesn't. If you can tell when you say it, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate because you don't take it in.
okay.
Yeah, you can't like program yourself with bad things. Tapping's never done that. You can program yourself like in a hypnosis way or with things like NLP to do weird stuff that you wouldn't normally do, but you can't do that with tapping.
Okay.
So yeah, don't worry about it. If something doesn't fit, just skip it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna say actually, like, I think sometimes the scripts can be illuminating because they talk about something in a way I haven't. Like, actually, I feel like I've just have like like I'm an art like flooding of creative and artistic ideas, and I get so overwhelmed by them, and because there's so many of them, and it had never occurred to me to think of them in the context of this sort of a script. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, that actually like just a positive rush overflow of thoughts and ideas, that can be a good thing. And maybe the thing is that I don't have to respond to each one. I mean, that's kind of like what you said. Well, maybe it's like they flood all at once, but I don't have to take it in. I can almost just appreciate the fact that like the faucet's been turned back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, MB.
Thank you. That was very good. I also have littles that are in that age group. So I keep seeing myself as like them of the times, like as the mom, you're telling them, no, 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 like I need to take care of
Oh,
this one first, you know? So it's like almost to me, it's like going back and forth between like the overwhelm of the mom who's trying to like get everybody something to drink and eat all at the same time. And then probably like remembering what my childhood may have been like of
totally.
very good. And then just on like a very light note, I forgot about this until you started doing the tapping. I have a sick kiddo, so I slept downstairs, and my daughter, who's 5, came downstairs and woke me up this morning, and she started like touching my face, and I couldn't understand what she was doing. She was tapping on me.
Oh my
So she's seen me
God.
do it enough, and I tried to get her to do it with me, and she was actually tapping. It was super cute.
Oh,
So I had to
that's
share that.
so
I
cute.
didn't.
Oh, I love that. That's a huge win. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Lisa B.
One thing that came up for me kind of towards the beginning was how dare you have your own needs? How
Hmm.
dare you? And it was
Like to your
especially true
parents or to yourself? Who did you
to
say?
like for me, it was more around like being a mom. Like I
Mm,
wasn't allowed to have needs. I had to focus completely on my family, on my kids. I had to sacrifice myself for them. And it wasn't allowed in my
totally.
marriage, I would say. And then also what came to me was like my husband was not emotionally available. He could not meet my emotional needs.
Yeah.
And so it went nowhere when I had them because he couldn't meet them. So just like two big realizations that came through for me. that I thought were pretty kind of, oh yeah, like I just totally turned every need I had off because my kids had to come first.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't matter if I was tired. I mean, I remember being sick, like I had the stomach flu, and my husband wouldn't stay home from work to help me, and my kids were at home. I had four between, like Elliot was probably like 4 months old, and Tatiana was six. I had four of them,
Wow.
and I still had to get up and like make them have breakfast, and like he was not able to meet my needs.
Oh.
Like he couldn't even stay home so I could sleep even just one day. And so very much learned that, yeah, my needs didn't matter.
Yeah, this one takes a couple like this it's worth tapping through this from several different angles a few times to like really lock this one in. I tapped on this earlier. I worked on this earlier, actually in the beginning of 2025. And I would say this year is probably the year that I've put myself first, more than I normally do. Yeah, that one was hard for me. And it was unconscious, even in the like overgiving in my business and things like that. I made a lot of changes this year that I needed to make that I think were around that. So
Yeah. And as I'm talking about it there, I feel like there's probably anger work that needs to be done there.
yeah, I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to give you too much. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely some anger in there.
Thanks.
Well done, Lisa. Stephanie.
Yeah, I guess I had a couple of things come up. One of the first things I noticed is my jaw was kind of bothering me a little bit, and now it's even more tense. And I don't know if that's because I kind of felt like there were times where the best word I can think of is like I went blank. It was like I disassociated or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly what that's about. I don't know if I just didn't believe it or if I didn't hear it. But and then
Didn't
when
believe
Aaron,
what? Didn't hear what?
that's it. I couldn't tell you. There were a couple of things that really resonated with me, but I can't even tell you what they are. I don't remember what you
Okay.
said.
Well, I'm going to put the script in the 90-day thing, and so you can go through it and see it. Maybe you need to read it and see the words for it to land.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing about scripts, you guys, is when you're reading a script, that's why I like to recite it to you. When you're reading a script, when you're looking at the words, it disassociates you from the experience. So read the line and then close your eyes and say it from your body, from yourself. That's going to give you a better, because what you will activate the memories and the beliefs that are connected to whatever that statement is mentioning.
Okay. Well,
And
that is helpful.
yeah.
Um, and I guess if I could just throw this out, if you have any feedback for me, but when Erin was sharing what she was sharing, it literally popped into my head about how from like high school through my 20s, I don't think I really was in touch with my emotions. I used sex as a I just I think that I use sex more than anything just to kind of to feel anything.
Mm, interesting. Did that memory kind of bubble up to the surface as we were doing this?
Um no, it was more when I don't know what Aaron said, but it like hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, and I was just thinking about all the men that all the men that I thought that I conquered because
Mm,
because I never showed any vulnerability. It was more about um, me putting a notch in my belt. I mean, I
mm.
know that sounds awful, but that's what I did.
Yeah. And
Maybe
do you have negative feelings about that? Because I hear a little bit of judgment towards yourself, but I don't know that I hear negative feelings about it.
no, I do have a little bit of judgment now that I'm older, but no, I don't necessarily have negative feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know if this makes a difference, but like I was in high school and college, like in the 80s and 90s, and it's a little bit kind of like a second feminist period that came
Yeah.
through, because I was like, oh, I could do that. If a guy could do it, I could do that.
Yeah, the frequency that's coming to me is the empowerment around that. So yeah, I think, maybe you were doing it to cover up, and maybe you were doing it as a reaction to, how you were raised or whatever, but I don't hear any like lingering pain that stayed with you from that. And maybe that was something that you needed to explore to feel, or maybe you were trying on how you feel. Like, I think you spend the first 20 or 30 years of your life just learning how to be human. Like, do you remember that? Like, first 20 or 30 years are really hard. You got to try a lot of things. You got to, have a lot of experiences to figure out what you like. So that's how it's landing to me anyway. Maybe there's some more work to do there, and I'll give you the I'll upload the script into the doc so you can read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome. Okay, well, thank you guys for that tapping. I had a great big tapping day for myself, preparing that for you. So I'm glad it's resonating. I'm glad it landed for you guys, and just want to encourage you to, keep being kind to yourself and keep checking in with yourself and your little girl or your inner self, whatever you want to call it, and giving her what she needs and trying to meet her needs, building that relationship with your inner self. Okay, everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. We are going to be, let's see, we're skipping next Monday, just so you guys know, but the coaches will be in the WhatsApp group, and then everybody should have access to the tapping circle too. If you need to jump on a call, you can get on a call pretty much any day of the week and get some help. So I will be with you again March 2nd. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic couple of weeks. Talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Rest up.
Thank you. I will. I'm very tired. I'm extremely tired today. I'm getting right into bed after this. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brittany.
Bye. You're welcome.